Hello, how are you doing this afternoon? So I'm here to just do a recap of day one. This is day two, but I'm doing a recap for day one. Then I'll do another video for day two. I'm not sure if I'll do this for each and every day, but as long as I am led to share, I'm going to do it. I shared a longer post about my interpretation and what God has taught me from John 1. And this is just me summarizing it as well in video form. I believe this should be shorter, more precise, but also read the summary and add your ideas. Right, so for me, John 1 was essentially about identity. It starts by introducing Jesus. And I was saying Jesus' CV was just amazing. Introduces Jesus as a co-creator. He was there from the start of creation. He was there involved in everything. And he is a light and the source of light and source of life. And then it ends with saying, that's the first portion, it says, and darkness did not understand him. For me, that was just like, okay, all right. How come? This was God in all his glory, in all his greatness, and he came and people preferred darkness to him. And this is me in my own space, bothered by people not accepting me. Identity. Identity is what you know you are. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. Jesus didn't become less God or less of the source of light because darkness didn't comprehend him. But darkness just missed out on an amazing light. So for me, I loved just that, just knowing that Jesus was amazing, but darkness denied him. And so every one of us, as we choose to be different from darkness, as we choose to be light in every area of our lives, we can be assured that you will not be understood and you will not be accepted and you'll be denied. That's just how it is. Because darkness loves its own, and if it was hard to understand the source of life himself, if you're pursuing him, be assured you'll be misunderstood too, and be okay with it. Most of the times we want approval from people, so we push that, like, no, you have to understand me. When you're doing something and people are like, what is it about? Why? You want to justify, you want to explain, you want people to say, oh, that's good, all the best. It doesn't work that way. Jesus still achieved what he wanted to achieve, even though people and darkness did not understand him. And then the other thing was about John. John just blew my mind. John was centered, was grounded. John knew what he was about. And that for me was also amazing. Because John, when he starts, people are like amazed by him. They are going to him for baptism. He has this amazing ministry. And then Jesus comes. And people are like, okay, we're gonna go to Jesus. Jesus seems amazing. And John is like, yes, he is. He's greater than me. He's bigger than me. He knows more than me. And I'm here to just pave the way for him. And then these authorities, it wasn't just anybody. Authorities went to John and asked him, who are you? Are you Elijah, Messiah, prophet? They were ready to worship him. They were ready to do anything that he would tell them that they should do. And he would have said, I am the Messiah. And they'll be like, yeah, hey, Messiah. Because they were amazed by him, But in that space, John was like, no, I'm not the Messiah. I am not the Messiah. I am a voice in the desert saying, make way for the Messiah. And they're like, no, are you Elijah, a prophet or a Messiah? He's like, a voice. I'm a voice. So it's like, for me, what was coming in my head was that understanding that people will ask you, are you an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher? Are you what? And you're like, no, I'm none of those. I am going to be an entrepreneur or whatever it is you want to be. And people will be like, we don't understand that. When people don't understand something, they attack it. Just like they attacked Jesus because they didn't understand him. They deny it, they reject it. And because we are so, sometimes we want that approval so much, we give up our mission. It's like John saying, okay, I'm a voice, but it seems nobody understands what a voice in the desert is about, so I'll just be the prophet, or I'll just be Elijah. No, John knew. And how did he know this? John knew because he was spending time with God. He got his mission from God. He just didn't start. And I know in our different lives we have decided different things. Maybe where you are right now is from you just starting. It's okay. You can go back to God and you can use whatever situation in your life and he can salvage it for his glory. And he can build it up and make it beautiful. That's what God does. But you have to understand that when John started this ministry, he knew what it was about. He spent time with God. Because he says, God had told him that when the Messiah comes, you see the Holy Spirit rest on him in a form of a dove. And he saw it and he was like, that's the Messiah. When did God tell him that? He was intimate. He was tight with God. He spent time with God. And that's what we need. If we're going to just live our best lives and achieve what we are meant to achieve, we can't get our mission and our mandate from books, from institutions, from our families, from the world and what it accepts. We have to get it from God. That's the only way it will be meaningful and it will amount to anything. Not only meaningful, you achieve meaningful things, but you also be fulfilled and happy. That's the only way, guys. And I love it because all this pressure on John didn't shake him up. He still said, I am not Messiah. And what will happen to you? Are you rooted in something? Are you rooted in who you are? What you're supposed to do? Do you know it? Are you connected with God that way? So much so that if somebody came and told you, you should be doing this. For me, I also remember, how things happen that business ideas come up and people are like, whoa, now Indian hemp is it. It's called what? Industrial hemp is where you make money. People are moving to that. No, soya is how you make money. People are moving to that. Then, oh no, we have to go buy beans from wherever and then sell. That's what is making money. People are shaking. No, if you want a good career, you have to study at this university. People are changing everything to go there. Even in jobs, they're like, well, leave your family, we'll transfer you to another district. You're like, okay, I'm going. You don't even consult God. You just like, okay, let's do it. Because our mandate is coming from all over the place. And when it's coming from all over the place, we can easily be shaken and be toyed with. And if the economy changes, you are in trouble. Because, well, your mandate is coming from your economy and then the economy has changed. They don't need you anymore. What do you do? So it is important that we spend time, like we are doing, reading his word, spending time with God enough to just know who we are. When we spend more and more time with him, we will know. We will be convicted. We will feel bad about some other things and we'll feel better and we will shed off some other things. For me, that was the lesson on identity. And I love how self-assured, how confident. I call it God confidence. You know how we say self-confidence? This is God confidence. Confidence that is rooted in God. That's the best kind of confidence to have. And then I also see a different lesson. The second lesson I was drawing was from Jesus having integrity. You know how these disciples, John's disciples, were following him and they said, he said, what do you want? They said, where are you going? He said, come. They went and stayed with him all day. And after they stayed with him that time, Philip went to take his brother, or is it his friend, Nathaniel. Why? This rabbi, who John was saying, he's the Lamb of God, he's amazing. When they went to spend time with him, they were like, wow, he really is amazing. And when he went to take his friend was like, from Nazareth, there's a guy from Nazareth who is doing anything beneficial. That's just impossible. And Philip was like, come and see for yourself. That is integrity. When what you portray in public is the same as what you live in private. Think about it. Most of us are nice in public. We're nice to strangers. But the people who know us closest, who are closest to us, know that we are not. And that's where our testimony is broken. God wants to use us first from where we are planted, in our workplaces. I used to work a job and I used to hate it. And I used to just have a bad testimony in that place. I was in a bad mood. I hated it. I wanted to leave and I was praying to God to take me out. Looking back, I realized that's not how God would have wanted me to do things. Where you are right now is where he wants to use you, where he wants you to blossom. He will move you to where you want to be. He'll move you to better things. But where you are right now, how is your integrity? How is your testimony? Your testimony has to be, what is this word? In tandem. What you portray should be exactly what you are. So that was a lesson with integrity. And Jesus was confident to say, come. Because he knew you can come to where I am, where I live, and everything is going to be cool. And Philip was like, come see for yourself, telling his friend. Because he knew if this guy meets Jesus, he'll see that he's the real deal. Are you the real deal? I know when I was reading this and thinking about this, I was convicted about so many other areas where I need to work on my integrity. Where I'm patient with people, random people, but I'm not patient with my husband or my children or my friends. All the different areas that I was convicted with. And I pray God helps all of us in making sure that we are in line with that. Again, the last point I want to take is the fact that when God was talking about being denied, he said those who accepted him, he established them as children of God. Not children born of human impulses or human desire, but children born of God. What did that mean? We are born from desire. Like we are born conceived by man and woman. But God says if you accept him, you are born differently. He renews you, transforms you. He changes you. And that's exciting. Because when he changes you for better, and he makes you better. He makes you more aligned. You'll be more fulfilled. You'll be more joy, more peace, more successful. You'll be better. But that also means you have losses. What I mean is you will have to lose the things that you're already comfortable with. There are things that you have embraced as normal in your life. There are friendships that you need to ditch. There are habits that you need to ditch. There are some things that you have just gotten used to. And that will hurt to let go of those things. But you have to let go of that to receive this newness that God says. When God says, I'll transform you and give you purpose, that means he's getting rid of some other things. And we have to be open and ready for that. Because he's going to shake things up, guys. When you're seeking him, don't think he's just going to give. He wants to give. But there's some things he needs to take away. So there'll be unlearning that you need to do and relearning that you need to do from just encountering with God. So as we spend time with him in his word, let's be open, because there'll be unlearning and relearning, and there'll be learning genuinely. And we have to be open to him guiding us. So John 1 for me was about identity, was about integrity, and was about transformation and being renewed. I hope this was helpful for you. I'm enjoying every comment and your feedback and your experience with the word as well. I pray you have a great day and you'll continue to enjoy this process. Okay then. Bye.